The following is a Just Green production.
Hello, everyone. It's the week of December 11th, 2017. My name is Taylor Cooper, and this might be news to you. What up, everybody? Week 17 might be news. Follow us on Twitter at mightbenews247. That's mightbenews247. Get at us on SoundCloud, iTunes, listen, subscribe, share. There's only one more episode after this, and then that's the end. That's the end of season 2. And we're taking a little break. Coming back after the holidays in 2018. Shit is crazy. You know, it's another year in the books. With me as always. Oh, wait a minute. It's ladies' night. I got Kev's wife here, Amy. What's up, Amy?
Hello.
I got my soon-to-be wife here. What up, Jackie?
Hello.
It's ladies' night. You believe it? Might Be News has a ladies' edition.
Yeah, they do.
That's crazy.
It's about time.
Right? Seriously.
We've been waiting.
It's crazy.
I do appreciate all the shout-outs all the time.
That's right.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
We all know that you make the t-shirts.
Yes, of course I do.
Kev doesn't make the t-shirts?
Nope.
Kev has nothing to do with the t-shirts.
Nope.
Did Kevin take credit for the t-shirts?
Kev absolutely took credit for the t-shirts. I'm sure you've heard that.
He may have had a slight role.
Slight.
But I taught him how to make the t-shirts.
This little thing, I believe that you fully manufactured.
Yes, when I bought the
t-shirt.
machine that cuts the vinyl, he hated it and gave me such a hard time. And now he loves it and uses it. So
We're going to get into how emotionless Kev is. This is the emotionless Kev special. That's what we're going to have about an hour or so of talking about how inadequate Kevin is.
I can do that
All
for
right.
just an hour.
All right. We got some good news. I'll do it this week. Since Danny's out still with the new baby, and Amy's here instead of Kev because
He's at home with the kids.
Ladies' night.
wow, he's playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's what he's
That's
doing.
what that means.
Wow. All right, we'll be right back with some good news.
Hey, did you hear the news?
This better be good.
Want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the good stuff.
All right, week 17 with the good news. I got a pretty funny and cool, neat story. 22-year-old Spencer Slayon, he lives in New York. He's an aspiring rapper. Met 81-year-old Rosalind Gutmann. She lives in Florida. These two connected via Words with Friends on their phone. They played over 324 games together over the course of a couple years. They got to know each other. They started sending each other messages and just became
How old was
friends.
she again?
She's 81 years old. She lives in a retirement home in Florida. And just talking, having fun, playing Words with Friends, and then just...
I was just impressed that she's on her phone.
Yeah, she's on her phone apparently, just hanging out with this kid. And he went
quick.
down to meet her. He traveled down to Florida to meet her.
I wonder how her kids felt about that.
Yeah, but it was kind of weird. But I just thought it was kind of cool because, I mean, nowadays, 2017, it's you see all these kids are on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're all on the tablets and this and that, whatever else. But this guy, he met this old lady because they played Words with Friends together. It's pretty interesting. It's a good story.
Yeah. I'm just impressed that an 80-year-old knows how to use a cell phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Good for her.
Times
I mean,
are changing. She
not
might
trying
not be
to
able to
be-
drive right.
Her grandkids probably taught her.
She might
Oh,
not
yeah.
be able to drive right, but she can use the phone.
Now here's the question. So his friends, what did they have to say
They're probably
to him when
clowning
they were
him.
like, "Dude, you're going down to Florida to see this"?
Well,
old
he
woman.
apparently he told the story of his friendship with her to his pastor, like a priest or whatever, and she used it in like a sermon, like it was just this huge thing, and she apparently paid for him to go down,
Oh.
and she went with him.
Okay.
Pastor, whatever. Very cool. Very cool. It's getting closer to Christmas.
It is.
How do you guys feel about Christmas?
I love Christmas.
Jackie, you're hype?
You know I'm hype.
How, on a scale of 1 to like, whoa, how hype are you?
Like, woe times infinity.
Like, whoa
Wow.
times infinity. Now, audience, if you don't know Jackie, Jackie's usually in the background. She's our human Google. Hey, Jackie. Anything we don't know. She almost caught me spewing a bunch of fake, well, not fake, but old shit on the show a couple weeks ago. It was terrible.
She should have caught you that one.
I relive it every day.
I actually was sitting there going, I know all these movies.
Doesn't
We
sound
did
right.
watch them, but I didn't even dawn on me because, like, I know movies sometimes come out and it feels like it's been 2
Forever.
years and
Yeah.
now they're nominated. And so I'm just trying to, it's like, wait, is that right?
Should've gone
Can
with
that
your
be
gut.
right? I should have gone with my gut.
Yeah.
I should have questioned it. I'm
No.
sorry.
If you don't, also for Jackie, she is the one on the jingles and the little intros. You're gonna sit there and look stupid. That's Jackie. She did that in one take. She's talented.
She's that good.
I'm that good.
Mhm.
She's talented. Now, it's not every day or every week that I get to do a podcast with two female co-hosts.
Lucky you.
What's it like being a woman? Sum it up
I'm not even trying to answer
in,
that
sum it up
question.
in 2 words. What's it like being a woman?
Me too.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Jackie, 2 words. Extra great.
It has its perks.
Wow.
I also don't know how to keep anything to 2 words, so
That's
you're really
true, too.
asking for a lot. I don't know. Being a woman in this day and age is crazy. It's
Mhm.
crazy. A lot of things that we have put up with is kind of coming to light, and it's nice and refreshing, but it's also horrifying because if we
Absolutely.
don't correct it and we don't get people on the right track,
At the same,
what's going to
at the
happen
same
with the future
time,
of our children?
how are we supposed? Like, what's the right way to do it?
Exactly.
Right? Like, or do we push it too far and then we lose all credibility? Do we what is that line?
Shit got real serious real quick. I bring 2 ladies on the show, and all of a sudden, it's craziness. Pure chaos. I'm just kidding. Actually, it's funny that you say that because every week in the beginning of the show, I try to bring up something just that's floating around out there in the news. And Time's Person of the Year came out this week, and to everybody's surprise, it wasn't Donald Trump like Donald Trump thought it was going to be.
I think this is a big slap in the face to Donald Trump after
Oh,
that
definitely.
tweet.
Definitely. But the person of the year is the Silence Breakers. It's all the women and Terry Crews. Well, not just Terry Crews, but I guess all the dudes that Kevin
I
Spacey
would say
grabbed
Kevin
their dicks.
Spacey's guys. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a crazy thing. I mean, every day it's like there's
Dropping
more and
like
more and more
flies.
and more and more. And I'm just thankful every day that Tom Hanks isn't one of them. I'm thankful.
I was upset about Kevin Spacey.
I was upset about Kevin
I'm not gonna lie,
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey as an actor has always been phenomenal, but I'm always was like, something's up with that dude. Always in the back of my mind. And I'm not being like, oh, hindsight's 2020. Like, no, I always had this weird feeling about Kevin Spacey.
That creep factor.
Creep factor. But I mean, the usual suspects.
Yeah,
Like, need I say more?
I think we've talked about this on the show, but it's great that you guys are here because I get a female perspective on what's going on. Because dudes, we just sit here and make jokes about people grabbing dicks and things. Obviously, it's a very serious thing. But what do you guys think about when you see this stuff on the news? What's the first thing that you think of?
I worry.
Yeah.
Because I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think I have the same opinion as most females do. Like, yes, the predators and the Harry Weinsteins and those guys are horrible, should be locked up somewhere at the Roy Moores of the world. But like, I've been in a billion situations with men that there's an uncomfortable moment. And I don't even know if they realize it most of the time. So what? I don't know. I don't think it's you can't hang them all. And I think there are comments that are made maybe that they don't realize, sometimes things come out that make people feel uncomfortable. You don't intend on feeling uncomfortable, making someone feel that way. And I don't think they should, be held as accountable as the predators of the world.
Right. Saying something that could make somebody uncomfortable. I mean, that's what comedians do, for crying out loud.
That's their job.
It's their job. I've been in many situations where, sure, if I wanted to really push it, I could have claimed sexual harassment, but I can laugh it off. And
I mean, I've also been in those
avoid
situations that were definitely inappropriate.
Oh yeah,
whether it be at work or on a train somewhere or whatever. So, but I think every woman has, right? Like,
yeah.
have you come across in the conversations?
In
like,
the conversations,
anybody who was like, "Oh, that's never happened to me."
No.
Oh.
And if it were, I'm sure they just don't remember it, or maybe they just laughed it off and didn't think anything more of it. But, and it's not that we can't stop certain things from being funny or being able to laugh about them, but there definitely is a time and place. And I think you have to know your audience.
Yeah, it's a
You
great.
know you're talking about.
I'm glad the conversation is happening, that people are becoming more aware. That the older generation, which I seem to think is they were raised to think it's okay. I hope that they are now realizing that behavior is not okay. I don't think they probably will. They'll probably keep doing it, but I'm hoping at least the generations from here on out will think about what they say to a female as they're walking down the street or in any situation, to think that maybe that's not appropriate.
I think a lot of what changes too is if they end up having a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
There's like always a meme that goes around. It's like, picture your daughter's dating a guy like you. Did you smile? No? Then change.
I've always joked about giving my firstborn child back if it's a daughter. Just
What?
immediately disregard. Just no. Sorry.
Cooking. Put it back in.
Put it back in.
More
Can
time.
we do the CRISPR thing? You've heard about the CRISPR thing. Can you please make that a dude, please, before it's too late? Put a penis on there and make it a dude, please. Because it is scary. It's scary to think about having a girl. Danny just had a baby girl, and I mean, I can't imagine after having two boys how much that changed him, and we'll hear all about it next week when he's back.
Did you see his post today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is-
Yeah.
very emotional. He's very emotional right now, and that's what I mean. I can't imagine. I just hope that I have a boy first, at least one, so he can ground and pound
Well, it's your
whoever
decision.
does whatever.
You're the determining factor there.
I'm gonna put it in a CRISPR. I'll put it back in the oven until it pops out like a turkey. You know
Jackie,
what I mean?
what do you have to say
Pop.
about that?
Pop goes the penis. Like
No.
a turkey. That's not how it works.
It's not
Put it
how
back in the oven.
I think you'd be a great dad to a girl.
Oh, I thank you.
He's-
I would love to be a dad to whoever.
No,
But
but I think like some men, like Kevin, I don't think could handle being a father.
I could be.
A girl.
I think that I would be a
think
great
you would-
dad to
you would
a
latch
girl
onto it. So she would. Oh, you would let her do whatever she
until
wanted.
she turns into a teenager
Then you lock her up.
and wants to have sex with people and do drugs and go on Snapchat.
Or whatever there is in
Oh God!
I mean,
15 years.
But like going back to this thing too, it's society has made it, our society anyway, it's not a worldwide thing, but our society has
This
made it
movement
to
is.
where, well, no, what I'm getting at is that women almost have to be sexy, right?
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, Hollywood.
We're expected to be.
I mean,
Supposed to be pretty and smile. And
I don't have Snapchat. Jackie, you use Snapchat to communicate with your girlfriends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you're a
a
female,
whole
single
filter
female going on there to
make you
try
look
and
prettier.
more or less that's exactly.
Yeah.
All these filters, they make you look more attractive. They make your eyes a little bit bigger
Your
and
eyes
all
big and bright and,
and like
give you a
smooth
cute
smooth
little
your skin
voice.
up and
Yeah.
everything, and then you but it's like, I don't know.
And in real life, I'm just a troll. So
But like, you know what I mean? It makes you want to be more attractive.
Oh yeah.
But then when somebody doesn't know how to act correctly, towards you. You know, it just makes it even a crazier thing. Online dating. I don't know how women do it.
Ugh.
It's scary.
Going to go meet some random
What was
dude.
that girl that just got found?
Yeah.
A Tinder date.
Yep. Dead.
That Jinx.
I'm glad I'm married. Totally. It's too much.
Yeah, I'm glad that I am out of the game. When I was like had been single for a little while, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back into this dating game. And at first I was like, oh, this is great, all these dudes, and I was like, oh my god, I have to delete this app. Like, people are crazy. They're crazy, and everyone's always like, well, what sites were you on? And I guess, like, you know, the free ones are like, yeah, you're gonna get the bottom the bottom of the pit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm really cheap, so I'm not
Isn't that
going to
crazy.
pay.
You have to
dating.
pay more money to get the more attractive ones.
Right.
And like, it's so stupid.
That is our
It really
society.
is.
It's
That
stupid.
is our society.
It's crazy. Yeah. And I don't know. One thing that scares me with this Hollywood thing that's going on right now, which is up to like 80 some people that have been accused.
Senators are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
The last time there were this many senators and people in the government bowing out was the Civil War and during slavery
Wow.
and the repercussions to all of that.
And what's sad about all of this is that I'm not surprised.
Oh no.
Like, nothing, I feel like nothing can shock me anymore. I will say this, though. I think Time should have put Corey Feldman on the cover. He has been talking
I just
about
read
this
about that.
for years and years. And you know what? Barbara Walters, I know you're not listening.
How do you know that?
She may be.
Well, if you are, do the right thing and publicly apologize to him. You owe it to him.
And he's been talking about it. You're right, forever. Well, one thing, and not saying Corey Feldman, but one thing that scares me is that some of these people might be lying.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like,
You hear about all the time. Some of these guys go to jail for X amount of years, whatever, and then all of a sudden they get out because the evidence comes out that it wasn't
people
them.
can be spiteful sometimes, females. And where's that line of like, so now we're supposed to believe all accusers. Everybody's right. Everybody's not lying. That happened. Automatically, we're supposed to believe them. But what about those people, women, men, that decide, wait, I could get back at this person. I could ruin their life. I know people like that. They would totally do it in a heartbeat. They're not great people, but they would.
Right.
But if I just come out publicly and say this about them.
There has to be a balance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is,
That's the tricky part.
but it's like, how do you have to show support for the victim, but you can't believe everything. I mean, there's literally 3 sides to every story.
Yes.
So,
Well, I don't know. It's just crazy. Thank you for your insight.
Mm-hmm.
Periods, though, huh? They're pretty crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're pretty crazy. That's what I hear
Periods
anyway.
are nothing. Childbirth's a whole different thing.
Childbirth, way worse than periods?
Way worse.
Even though periods happen like accumulated over time. If you took all of your periods and stuffed them into one big period, would that be worse than childbirth?
Mm-mm. No.
No?
No.
I don't.
All of them.
I don't know.
No.
All of them shoved
No.
into one period. Like one big period.
I'm not going to get it. No.
Holy shit, that's a big
I
period.
won't tell you why, but it's totally not. I mean, technically, I had 2 seconds.
I really wasn't expecting you guys to answer.
Yeah. Well, we're
That's
women.
an off-air conversation.
It's weird, but we're women, and there's a lot of shit we put up with.
You guys ever play
Men,
with...
number 1.
Men,
Yes.
number 1.
So, seriously, though, we're going to change the subject.
Because you're outnumbered.
What is... Yeah. Outnumbered big time. What is your... We're getting close to the holidays, like I said. What is your favorite Christmas tradition? Do you have one? Is there like a certain thing that happens every year for you, or is it like totally sporadic every year?
As I've gotten older, it's different. as a kid, it was always the Ingalls and the Hammonds. We got together every Thanksgiving and every Christmas, and we'd alternate whose houses we'd have dinner at. But I mean, that was the tradition. We were always together. And now that everyone's gotten older and grown and families have all grown, we don't do those traditions with them anymore. And I miss them. So shout out to the Hammonds if you're listening.
Shout out.
But that was my favorite childhood tradition. It didn't even matter where we were, what we were doing, just being with them because they're literally my second family. So,
What about you, Amy?
To go back to when we were kids, my favorite, like the memory that I love the most. So I had, going way back before my 2 other siblings were born, it was me, my older sister, my little brother. And I was always the first one awake. And I'd sneak, my little brother is 6 years younger than me. So I'd sneak downstairs. He was still like a toddler. And I knew as soon as he was up, right, like the whole house had to get up. So I'd wake up at like 4 a.m. and I'd sneak down because my sister and I would always sleep in the same room on Christmas Eve. She was 6 years older than me. So she would always be like, oh, did you hear that on the roof? Because we were in the attic and, play that whole game. So I'd sneak downstairs in the morning and I'd go into his room and I'd be like, Joe, and like try to wake him up. And then I'd get him to wake up and then I'd run back upstairs. And I'd be like, oh, he's up, I guess. And then, so we'd go downstairs,
Sneaky.
4 a.m. My poor parent, like thinking about it now as a parent, I'm like, oh, I would have killed my kids. Open all the presents, do the Christmas morning thing. And then everybody else would go back to bed. And me and my little brother, I'd sit and I'd put his toys together and stuff. And we'd sit and play with all our stuff and hang out while everybody else was back in bed until it was an appropriate time to wake up for breakfast.
We used to always like devise plans. Because Maggie and I shared a room growing up. So, okay, I'll take first watch. You take second watch. We're gonna catch Santa this year.
We're going to do it.
And we'd always fall asleep. Same with the Easter Bunny. I mean,
Cole
we
came home
couldn't
to me
catch
this
any
week and he's like, Mom, Nick at school caught Santa last year. I'm like, no way. You're kidding me. He was like, yeah, he was hiding in a closet and he totally saw him. And Cole's in kindergarten. And I'm like, well, he's lucky. Did Santa see him? He's like, no. And I'm like, well, he's lucky because Santa might not have given him any presents. Don't try to hide in closets, please, kid. Just don't do it.
Yeah, you're gonna ruin it for yourself.
You could have been like the bad mom and been like, your friend Nick's a liar. I don't want you associating with him. He's no longer your friend.
Spoiler alert, kids. Santa Claus is not real.
But the spirit of Christmas is.
Yes.
Spirit of Christmas.
Santa Claus is the spirit of giving.
Yes.
We're not going to get into Santa Claus right now because that's my point this week.
Oh.
I have a very interesting point about Santa Claus. And we're going to talk about it because there's I want to ask you guys an honest question. And I kind of want to ask it right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait. All right, so I guess my favorite childhood, thing would have to be every year I would get a new nutcracker. So every year the collection is huge. It's up at my parents now. I still get nutcrackers from my mom every year.
Are you going to take the collection?
Eventually, I will when I have room for them.
You buy
I
a
have
house?
a lot of them. Yeah, I have a
Be
lot.
We
prepared.
don't have a lot of
Yeah.
room here.
Yeah, we would need a closet for them right now.
All of our closets are being
Yeah, they're kind of jammed up. But yeah, that and I don't know. When I was a kid, we always used to watch, obviously, A Christmas Story. I still catch that every, parts of it every year, whatever. But that leads me to my next question. Do you have a favorite holiday movie?
Just had this debate at work because I had to really think because they were like caught me and I totally off guard. I'm like, I don't know. Like I have no idea. I think I decided it's the Grinch, the original. Cartoon.
The cartoon one?
It's a great message and
It
he's
is.
so awesome and it's short and it's sweet and it's just, and it's a little bit evil and has great catchy tunes.
It does have great catchy tunes.
Yeah.
Jackie.
It's hard for me to pick favorites, but I always really enjoy Home Alone
Oh, it's great.
and Elf
We just watched that this week. Cole loves Elf.
and Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Wow.
You know, the Gremlins is a Christmas movie
Yeah.
as well.
Apparently,
Yeah.
yes.
And I'm like, I looked at a list of the 25 top Christmas movies, and some of them, first of all, some of them are horror movies, which I don't think is appropriate.
No.
I mean,
well,
technically,
for
I
adults,
guess,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
like, really, like Christmas and horror movies just shouldn't go together.
They could.
And like Die Hard.
Yeah,
and
well,
the
it could be horror
Gremlins and-
movies. It's for the bad kids, so
Oh, yeah, good point.
that's why you have to stay good.
ones
as
that
an
like
adult.
torture animals and stuff.
Yeah, well,
as
those
children.
are just serial killers. So.
Could be. I like Jingle All the Way
Yeah,
Really?
and Elf. And
But
yeah,
what's your
Die
number
Hard.
one? Where's your number one? Where's that fall?
I mean, if you want to include Die Hard, Die Hard's better than every Christmas movie ever, in my opinion, as a movie.
Disclaimer: never seen it.
McClane.
You've what? Never seen Die Hard?
No, I've
You're
never
crazy.
seen it.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Not one Die Hard movie?
Not one.
even the first one?
Mm-mm, none.
Amy.
I know.
He's so upset right
That's
now.
a really sad story.
I don't get to see movies a lot. My husband doesn't watch them, and
Yeah, but like Die Hard.
Kev would
but
like
why
Die
would I
Hard.
be like, oh, I want to watch Die Hard today? If I want to watch a movie, it's like I'll pick something.
You need to get into the
So
holiday spirit.
Rom-com. Some chick
It's
flick.
basically a rom-com. Well, it's a rom action movie.
Yeah, it's like there's not a well.
He's
John
trying to
McClane
save
is
his
funny.
wife. He's trying to save his wife. And
Bruce Willis is the man. First off,
Professor Snape is in his way.
yeah,
That makes me want to see it a little bit more.
he's in it, and he's
He's also the sheriff of Nottingham in
Yeah.
the Robin Hood movie.
hmm
He's dead now.
He's a great actor.
I know.
It's so sad.
I know he's dead.
Was rest in peace.
But he dies in that movie too. Spoiler alert. Big
Now I
deal.
don't need to watch it.
It happens towards the end somewhere.
It's still really good. You have to see it.
Put
It's
it on my list.
I'm telling you, if you're not in the holiday spirit, this will get you there.
You
I
know-
could probably get Kevin to watch that movie with me.
Yes,
And
it's
you-
perfect for Kev. It
Well,
might
you-
make him feel something.
You heard
Yeah,
how
probably
often
not.
they laid into Danny about not seeing Moana.
Which
This
a
is
great
just as
movie.
bad.
This is gonna.
This is
gonna
just as
Yeah,
bad.
no, the fact, yeah, I'm glad that he's finally seen Moana because I've seen it as an adult and I don't have children, and I've watched it alone many, many times.
It's a great movie. I would still say Die Hard's one of the best movies ever made. Certainly that involves Christmas.
Christmas.
It's
Maybe
not-
that will be my favorite Christmas movie.
It might.
It could be.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie, but if I had to, if a child was present,
Yes.
Jingle All the Way. Arnold. You can't go
What
wrong
about
with
the
an Arnold
Santa Claus? I
Schwarzenegger.
love the Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus was
Yes.
really good. The 1st one.
I'm gonna let my boys watch that on Christmas Eve this year.
The first one.
Yeah.
I didn't
yeah, just
like
the
the
first
other
one.
ones. What do they have? 3 total?
3. At least 3.
Martin
Uh,
Short's in the 3rd one.
Yeah. he
Yes.
plays Jack
Yeah.
Frost.
Yes. Yeah.
The weirdo.
We'd watch Home
He's
Alone,
not a
but
weirdo.
We
He's
watch
just a
Home
weird
Alone
guy
at
in
least
that movie.
3 times a week. So
You watch Moana 3 times a week? Is that what you said?
no Home Alone.
Oh, Home Alone.
Cole and Jax are obsessed with
Really?
Home Alone. Jackson's really funny because we'll be in a store somewhere, and you know the scene in the first one where Kevin's like screaming down the halls and like freaking out. Jackson does it, arms in the air and everything. We'll be in the middle of a store and he'll just
Yeah, Home Alone was definitely my favorite Christmas movie growing up.
I quote it almost all year long.
Yeah.
So.
You do. That's a true story. All right, so we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and do a very cool ladies edition of What's the Point? We don't have a late review this week, but I have another holiday-related question.
If you
for
did, I would have done it.
You would have done it?
I would have.
Jackie would have done it too?
Yeah.
Danny's usually good at it.
No, Danny's good. It's
Kevin,
the other one.
Kevin, on the other hand, is just...
I give him a lot of shit for that, by the way.
Oh, do you?
Oh, I do.
You should. Everybody should. If you see Kev on the street, tell him to fucking do something.
Anything. Just,
Man up.
Just fucking do something, Kev. Feel something, do something, be something. I don't miss him.
You know who else doesn't miss him? Finn, our dog.
Finn does not miss Kev. You're sitting in Kev's chair.
Oh.
So it's cool. It's like a thing. And I do miss Kev. I love Kev. Kev's one of my best friends. And Kev is a true sport for letting me abuse him every week the way
You
that he
get pretty
does.
rough with him sometimes.
Well, you know, as much as it is my fault, it's his for sucking. And
It's true. I mean,
sometimes I just can't help it. Like Danny's sitting over
But do
here,
you
and
think he likes the attention from you sometimes?
I
Maybe
think
he
he-
doesn't
I
do it
think
because
he
he
does.
likes to feel such love
I
from
think he
you.
does.
Yeah.
It's like the
because
bad kid.
that's always
that,
been
like-
our relationship.
that's how you
Kevin
know
and I.
somebody cares. If they like
Mhm.
lay into you, know, if I'm like
Yeah.
ripping into you and joking with you. If I'm not joking with you, you're nobody.
And
To
that's
me, anyway.
That's how me and Kev have always been. And so, fuck you, Kev.
Remind him next time that it's because of you that he has me.
That's correct. I mean,
Yeah.
his whole life right now as an
It's
adult
because of you.
is because of me. And
100%.
I just want Kev to really fully understand that.
His children would not exist.
Your kids, Kev, your kids wouldn't exist, Kev, if it wasn't for me. So on that note, we're going to take a little break, come back with What's the Point, and not do a late review. And Amy's got a very special This Week in History. Be right back with more Might Be News. Welcome back to Might Be News. I'm Taylor Cooper. With me is Amy and Jackie. Say what up, ladies.
Hello, might be
What's
newsers.
up?
What's up? Welcome back. Follow us on Twitter at Might Be News 24/7. That's Might Be News 247. Poppin'. Hashtag follow us now.
Not even asking anymore. We're
Yeah,
demanding it.
Fucking do it. All right, so what's the point? What's the point?
Is there a point to this? What is your
Are
point?
you just gonna sit there and look stupid?
What's the point for this week? Amy, what's your point?
My point. So, for all you local people, we had the first snowfall today. And
First snow.
a decent one. It wasn't just a little bit of flurries. Got a few
Yep.
inches.
Yep.
But didn't really stick to the roads all that much, which is the best kind of snow.
It's the best.
So, I was reading this week, and the 6th, December 6th, Alaska, in Valdez, Alaska, they had record-breaking snow that had 10 inches per hour.
10 inches per hour.
Per hour. Think about it. Going to a movie, there's nothing, right? You come out, and there's like 2 feet of snow.
Holy shit. How many hours did it do?
Well, the storm was actually 3 days.
What?
What?
It was a 3-day storm. It dropped 126 inches of snow.
Holy fuck. What do you do with that?
Nothing. You don't do anything. You just stay where you are.
That's when you buy the eggs, the bread, the
That's
milk.
exactly. That's when you get.
That's
that
when you
stuff.
need all that stuff.
That's
to make French toast.
Not for
It's
this stuff.
no,
horrible.
crazy.
No wonder they pay people to move
Do a
there.
lot. Yeah, who wants to deal with that?
They pay people to move to Alaska.
There was a huge avalanche, shut down a highway. Yeah. So I was looking at some other, because I'm thinking like, okay, so that was Alaska. See, if there's always snow in Alaska, it's Alaska. So I was looking at stats for snowfall in all the states. So 48 out of 50 states have received more than 12 inches of snow in 24 hours, which compared to the 10 inches an hour isn't that much. So there's 2 states. Want to guess which states have not gotten 12 inches of snow in an hour or in a 24-hour period?
Have not?
Have not.
Florida.
Hawaii and Florida.
Look, you guys make such a good team. There you go.
Yay, high
High
five.
five.
Florida's record is 4 inches in 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I believe
And that
it.
was like in 1954.
That's pretty interesting.
I thought so.
I hate the snow. I don't hate it.
it's
I just
pretty,
it's,
right?
it's
Like,
nice.
We talked about
So
we.
pretty.
It's pretty and it's fun to play in, like with like the dog or kids.
Mhm.
But I don't want to clean it off my car. I don't want to drive in it.
Mm-mm.
It's cold. I need gloves.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's pretty this time of year, whatever. But after Christmas, I'm done with it.
They
done
haven't
with
really
it.
started until after Christmas usually.
I'm done with it.
It's a winter wonderland until like December 26th, and then it's just like, what is this shit?
Why are we?
Why
doing
is this still here?
I'm done with it. And it sucks because I feel dumb saying that because when it's just cold and not snowing, I'm just like, if it's this cold, it might as well fucking snow.
Can't have both
What's the-
ways.
what's the point?
Because cold. I think cold sucks more than the snow.
Snow actually makes it warmer.
Yeah, and
Wait,
it's
what?
brighter outside.
It
and-
won't.
True.
It doesn't snow if it's like 16
Too
degrees.
cold,
It has to be
true.
like just. And it
Just-
insulates. Right?
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
go in and dig
The
a little
cold,
hole
like
and-
the snow itself is
igloos.
cold,
Yes,
wet.
but not like
It sucks in
10
general.
degrees
My
cold.
boots are soaked right now.
I'm like with the kids, they always, they're so excited about the snow. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, like first I gotta make sure they pee first before you get like layer after layer after layer.
Like the
Then
kid
they're
from A
outside for like
Christmas
10
Story.
minutes and they're done. They're like, okay, this was fun. I'm over the novelty. They come back in and then you have to like strip them
Oh.
of everything and they're all
Find a place to hang all the wet stuff.
Yes, it's really like, can you just not play in the snow? Like, can we just sit and look at it? It's really look how pretty
Yeah.
for now. In like 2 days, it won't
It
look
won't
so
be.
pretty.
No.
It's wild. I just hate it. It's nice to look at, but
Hate driving
to touch
in
it,
the snow.
to do anything with it sucks. Jackie, what's your point?
Well, for all my Psycho fans out there, Psych the movie premiered Thursday night on the USA channel. And it's a big deal because the show got taken off air 3 years ago. And a lot of people were just heartbroken. I know I was one of them. And I felt bad because I got my mom into the show. And then it's like, it was their last episode, like their last season. And she was like, how dare you get me into the show? And now it doesn't
I
exist
didn't even
except
know
for
there was a
reruns.
movie.
Yeah, I know. They actually did some like promo stuff on Facebook. I don't know. The show to me was just always hilarious.
Mhm.
I laughed at every single episode. The movie was so I can't even like really put into words. Like I was so heartbroken when the movie. I was like, babe, the movie's over. Now what am I gonna do? Like
you stayed up for the whole thing too.
I
which
did.
Was very
He kept
impressive.
checking on me, and I told him earlier, like radio silence when it's on, unless
to be
it's commercial, right? And he tried. He tried to interrupt, and I was like, I gave him like the death stare, like, don't do it. And then he's like, "Are you up? You still up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Normally, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
At 7:30, 8 o'clock is like
any
my
movie, anything.
pre-nap, like my pre-bed nap time on the couch. So I stayed up for the whole thing, and I loved every minute of it. And they're supposed to be doing at least, I think, 5 more movies.
Really?
And I'm like, all these people are like, just bring the show back.
Do that
Please,
much?
just bring the show back. But
Do you watch the show, Amy?
I've seen the show before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seen it too. It's okay. It's good. It's good.
this might be a deal breaker.
It's good.
It's hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
The chemistry on the show
It's good.
Yeah.
is what really makes it. I mean, the 2 main characters.
I like that dude
great
on
together.
the he's on Ballers too. One of the guys.
Dule Hill,
Yeah.
who was actually just in this area doing People's Light and Theater for a Nat King
No
Cole
way.
Oh, really?
play. Yeah.
That's cool. So I'm glad you liked it. That's cool.
Yeah.
My point this week is about Santa Claus. Christmas is coming. Winter is here. And I wanted to talk about Santa Claus for a couple of things. One, you kind of brought it up with the kids believing in Santa Claus, and there comes that eventual time where a kid is just like, hey, dude, I caught Santa Claus, or, a couple years later, Santa Claus isn't real. You're a wimp or whatever, you know? I don't. Jackie and I have had this conversation before regarding Santa Claus. I don't believe that we should tell him that Santa Claus brings him the gifts.
Excuse me?
I don't believe in it.
What are they going to tell him?
You already just said it. Santa Claus is the spirit of Christmas.
He's a spirit of giving.
Whatever. The spirit of Christmas. And we work hard for the money.
No, Santa only brings one big gift in my house. Mommy and Daddy do all the other gifts.
Perfect. That's a perfect thing. That's a perfect thing.
One gift.
Better yet, tell him Santa told me to buy this for you.
But then what are the elves?
I
what's
want
the whole
grateful
point of the
kids.
elf? It completely destroys the whole.
I want grateful
backstory.
kids for the rest of my life. I don't want kids that eventually, deep down, emotionally inside to their core, think that I'm a liar. For telling
You're
them,
gonna lie to your kids about a lot more than just Santa.
I just want to put it. I
Come on
want
now.
to start it off on the right foot.
True.
Kid, I work hard for this money. Santa Claus. This brings me to my next point. The image of Santa Claus was created by Coca-Cola. Did you know that?
Genius marketing.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola. Prior to 1931, Santa Claus was depicted as a tiny little elf dude. Little guy. He wore red and everything, but even further back, during like the Civil War time, Santa Claus was like a Union soldier guy. Like he supported the Union, and he was like this little elf dude still. Kind of skinny.
I mean, that makes sense. Santa wouldn't be into slavery.
It's just
Not-
weird
That
thing.
doesn't make any sense.
Let's just give slaves out. Maybe Santa was on the, maybe he was on the Underground Railroad. So Santa Claus in 1931, what's his name? Haddon Sundblom illustrated Santa Claus for the Saturday Evening Post for Coca-Cola around Christmas time, and he was the first one to depict Santa Claus as this, happy, jolly, rosy cheeks,
Fat white dude.
fat white guy, big beard,
Smoking a pipe.
red and white robe, Coca-Cola colors. And this image of Santa Claus has been used ever since.
Mhm.
You see him all over the place, the malls, the commercials. This holiday, for some people, is about the religious stuff. But I feel like the majority of Americans, even if it is about the religious stuff, off here to the side is also about just getting shit and giving shit.
It's about giving, not getting.
Yeah.
Maybe to you.
Well,
As
but-
kids, though, listen,
It's
as
supposed
kids,
to be about giving.
But-
But with kids, it is about getting.
listen, as adults, it's about giving. As kids, it's
You gotta
about getting.
Teach your kids it's about giving.
Right. You also got to teach them that Santa Claus isn't real.
At some point.
So what are you going to do? You're just going to be like, oh, man, like,
You just wait for their friends to tell them at school. A lot of kids will still play the game. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I believe in Santa to their parents because they don't want to give up that magic of Christmas.
you're
And then
setting
eventually
your
they just kind of like,
you're setting your children up to ultimately find out that you lied to them.
I was at a play date with Cole like 3 weeks ago, and his mom was like, I have to warn you, Eli knows Santa doesn't exist. She's like, I was reading articles about being honest to your kids, and he asked, he was like 2, and I just told him, no, he doesn't exist. I didn't think he'd remember, and he did. She's like, I've told him not to tell anybody.
This kid is going to tell your son Santa's not real.
I'm going to tell him Eli's a big liar.
Cole's going to be like, no, my mom told
Would
me.
never
She would
lie to
never
me.
lie to me.
She would never lie to me. And he's going to come on, Mom, guess what I did? I told this kid that you would never lie to me. And then, but what if he's at that age? You're just like, well, actually, I did.
Do you
fucking
remember
lie.
finding out Santa doesn't
Forever.
exist?
Yes.
I don't remember
Yes.
at all.
I
I
I
don't.
remember.
My sister sat me down because apparently
I was very
the
disappointed.
biggest bitch to my parents, and my mom cried one Christmas because I guess I don't remember. Like I was 8, maybe younger.
You made
But-
it to 8 believing in Santa?
I think.
I don't think. I mean,
know.
that's about average. I feel like.
I guess so.
I'm trying to remember.
I feel
think
like I was like 6 or 7, maybe.
I may have
don't
been
know.
in second grade. I'm trying to remember. I think I was in second grade. I don't know. I was an awful child. And like the way my one brother puts it to me is, Jackie, you could have asked for 50 things that year for Christmas, and Mom and I got you 49, and you didn't get the 50th, and you complained about it. So I was like, wow.
She's the kid you're worried about.
I'm an ungrateful brat. And like I feel awful as an adult, like, and you can't help the way you feel as a child. Like you think some big dude's making you get like some elves doing it.
Why can't they make another gift?
They can
What's
make
the
me
problem?
another gift. Like, and you don't understand the concept of money. I'm the youngest of 5. I have no concept of money. Now, as an adult, I do. And I have to constantly remind nieces and nephews, like, they're like, well, can't you just get this? I'm like, whose money's paying for it? Like, well, yours. I'm like, no. That's not how this is going to work.
I tell my kids that all the time when they want something. Like, do you have money? I have $4. Nope. Not going to cut it.
You need at least 1,000 more.
Yeah. Now I feel like the lies are now on top of lies on top of lies. Because now you've got like Elf on the Shelf. Right? So there's a whole the elf leaves the house every night to fly back to Santa to tell him if you've been good or bad. And you can't touch him because we're not doing magic.
We're not doing Elf on the Shelf.
Don't start it because
we're not doing Santa.
We're not doing Elf on the Shelf.
You're a horrible parent.
We're not doing Santa.
You're a horrible parent.
We have to do something regarding Santa.
Santa is the spirit of Christmas.
If you were religious, you could do the whole no Santa thing. But you're not, so you don't get that option.
You're religious.
But
Jackie's
you're
religious.
not.
Jackie's religious.
But you're not.
So you guys could do the whole...
But do you remember coming downstairs Christmas morning or like being excited in bed at night, like listening for like the bells and like, do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Excitement?
Yeah.
Now the kids are just gonna be like, oh, well, why can't we just open our presents now? I know they're upstairs in the closet.
Right.
Because
it's not fun.
No, but you still got to teach them that it's about the day. It's Christmas. It's
you
the
can
day.
teach them that with Santa.
You can have it both ways.
I took Cole out this week. We went out. I'm like, okay, let's go, pick some stuff out for you to get your stuff for your brother.
How about
buy
this?
presents.
How about this?
And he had so much fun, like figuring out what a person would like or what his brother would like, and it's fun to see like what he picks out for his little brother.
How about a compromise? I mean, it's 2017. It's almost 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is crazy. What about this? Santa sent me an email or a text telling me what I was allowed to buy you with the money that I worked for, based on how good you are.
Why can't you just tell your kids, I get you presents?
Santa gave me the
I'll
money.
get you better presents.
You got to be good. You got to be good, or Santa's going to give me Cole to give you.
Yes, that's really confusing when your kid's name is Cole.
It's Cole.
Yeah, that sucks. That's crazy.
So we just tell him Santa's going to bring him poop.
That's good. That's good one. It's a good
it's
one.
Kevin, you know my husband, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. He's going to bring you poop. I can hear Kev saying it.
Oh my God.
Santa's going to bring you poop.
Called the shit poop.
But
I don't support your decision, Taylor.
You don't?
I don't. I think it's a horrible decision. And I hope that knowing Jackie has more influence than you.
There's a way that you don't necessarily have to lie. Like you explain it that it's the spirit of Christmas, that you get gifts. You have to be good. It's the spirit of giving. Mm-hmm. And there's things, and I've read things, and I've seen videos on Facebook that get shared. I'm surprised I haven't seen it more this year, but I think I saw it last year.
I've seen a lot so far this year.
And you basically you then have your children to then be like little Santas, and they have to give an old toy that they're not playing with or using to a donation center. Because let's face it, there's lots of families that struggle this time of year that have nothing.
Yeah.
And in years past, I've donated just through various things, people posting things on Facebook like, hey, how can I help? And then here I am in Toys R Us asking complete strangers, do you think a 9-year-old boy would like this? And everyone's like, they have nothing. They're going to love anything they get. And it's so depressing to hear that. And it almost makes you want to cry because you're like, I'm freaking out over getting the perfect gift for this child that has nothing.
Or the kids, like the angel trees and stuff like, at the Y, or Cole has one at his school, and the families can sign up for it. And the lists of things the kids want, they're like socks, like
underwear,
things
that I want as an adult. They're asking for as a child.
Well,
so we can do things where, okay, well, Christmas is coming. You now get to bring joy to another child's life, and let's donate a toy
And I teach my kids that all year long when I'm trying to get crap out of my house. I'm like, Cole, help me. Like, and he knows that
You don't
there
clean
are
this room up,
kids.
I'm throwing it out.
Yeah, there are kids. I'm like, I'll give him a box and say, there are toys you don't play with or you're too big for now. And there are kids that don't have any toys. And I'll ask for 4 and he'll give me 10 toys that,
That's your
he's
good
like,
child.
somebody
That's
else
awesome.
might.
Is he your good child?
He's my good child. Yeah.
You can't get 2 good children.
No,
so.
I don't.
Well, my closing argument on this topic before we move on is that it's all about realistic appreciation, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this day and age, in such a negative place, everything's negative. The news, social media, everything. I just think that we should be grateful for each other and not fake things. You see what I'm saying? I just think that, like, kids, obviously I don't have any. I hope to have some. And I just want them to understand that we are doing this for you. Like, you are my everything, and I want to give you everything as long as you're fucking good. If you're not good, you're fucked, dude.
But there's 365 days in a year.
Agreed.
We can give one holiday or a couple holidays to little fictitious things.
How big is Christmas? Christmas is the biggest.
It is.
It's the biggest. Why give that to a fake thing?
But you've got to teach your kids that from day one, all year long.
Yeah. And see, we can do one gift. It doesn't even have to be anything
That's a
spectacular.
great idea, and I'll probably do it. That's a compromise.
See,
I don't want Santa getting all the credit. Trust me.
No,
like
Santa-
no, like
Santa's a fake thing.
No, but see, like now as an adult, I can actually understand money and how it all works. I totally appreciate my parents for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. As
especially
an
from a
adult,
large
you are-
family.
you
I was
are-
from a really
Large
five.
family,
So like and my mom, struggled with the fact that she was single sometimes and whatever. And like Christmas was always that we always. I mean, she would
Had a
shop
good
all year
Christmas,
long, but we
right?
always had a ton of presents and we were broke most of the time. But Christmas was totally
the time.
special,
Yeah.
and it
All right.
should be.
Well, before we do This Week in History, I wanted to ask one more Christmas-related question. Do you, as a female, have a favorite Christmas album? Cover to cover,
Ooh.
Jeez,
do you have a favorite Christmas album? I'll tell you mine right now. Mariah Carey's Christmas.
that's where I was going with that.
Or it's a series. I think it was the first one, but now that's what I call Christmas, or that's not what it's called. What is it called?
No, I think that's it.
That's not what it is.
Yeah.
That is what it is?
Well, it's like now this is music. Isn't that what it's called?
Well, it's not
There's-
like it's not like
There's
it's
like
not some-
25 of them
Yeah.
now or something.
No. This is old, man. This is where the Bruce Springsteen Christmas thing was, and then there's the Run DMC, and there's Alabama's on there with the Christmas stuff, and I don't know. It has a bunch of people, various artists. I don't know what it's
Yeah,
called.
it's something along those lines.
Something like that.
Obviously Mariah Carey. I mean,
Classic album.
I actually listened today. I was baking cookies with my mom and my sister Kim, and I put on YouTube because there's no radio. And then my dad was watching the ID Discovery Channel. So it's really conflicting because you're like, these people are getting bludgeoned to death and we're making Christmas cookies in the other room.
To Mariah Carey.
To Mariah Carey. But like, I'm a big time like fan of like the old Christmas crooners like Bing Crosby,
Yeah.
Nat King Cole, Johnny Mathis. I'll throw in Frank Sinatra, but Frank Sinatra to me, like, he's like an always crooner. Like Christmas time, for me, it's Bing and Nat and all those
Classics.
guys and the Carpenters. Karen Carpenter had
And the
The-
Carpenters.
voice of an angel.
What about you, Amy?
I'm gonna have to say, besides Mariah Carey, like a Boys to Men. They had
Yeah.
a great Christmas album.
Yep.
What about NSYNC? NSYNC had a
Hanson
Christmas
actually
album.
is one of my favorite Christmas
Yeah.
albums too.
Hanson.
Hanson, who I just saw in concert.
I also
not
like
long ago. Don't
the
hate.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra Christmas.
So that's like a whole different.
It's a whole different
Wow.
thing. That's like a whole different
Level.
vibe. That's like, yeah, it's a whole different vibe. I was just curious. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
What do we got for this week in history, Amy?
Speaking of history, so for those who like to binge watch things on Netflix, The Crown season 2 just
Oh.
premiered on Friday, which I was watching all today while I was doing cookies. But this week in history, 1936, Edward VIII abdicated the English throne after he's condemned for marrying a divorced American woman, which he then gave it to his brother, who King George V, who is the current Queen Elizabeth's father. Which Queen Elizabeth is the crown and that whole thing, which is a great show. Just in there.
Nice tie-in.
Nice tie-in, right? I found that as I'm scrolling through. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. As I'm watching the show. Anyway, 2003, American forces capture Saddam Hussein. Remember that day?
Oh.
In his little hole in the ground. Crazy times. These are not in order by year, by the way. 2000, Al Gore concedes the presidential election to George W. Bush, the whole Florida recount thing.
Yeah.
And we thought that was crazy politics. It's like nothing now. 1970, John Lennon releases an album that contains the word fuck. Big news.
Wow.
So racy. 1799, George Washington dies. 1966, Walt Disney dies. Sad day. And 1965, Charlie Brown Christmas premieres.
Oh.
Overall, I would say that was on a scale of 1 to like whoa. That was like holy shit whoa better than every thing that Kev ever did on the show.
Mm-hmm. It's because he does it like 10 minutes before he's got to leave. He's on the computer and he's like, oh, I got to do my history.
Absolutely incredible, Amy.
I know. Thank you.
It's a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I almost forgot, and since we're not doing a late review this week, here's the new music. A lot of hip-hop this week. Kendrick Lamar came out with his collector's edition of Damn, which is hysterical because it costs $9 to purchase on iTunes, and it's literally Damn in reverse order.
Genius.
There's not a new song on it. It's literally just backwards. I've got news for you, people. There's a playlist on YouTube with that. Absolutely free. It's good. Double or Nothing is the album by Big Sean and Metro Boomin. That's a huge collaboration. Metro Boomin recently just got snubbed in the Grammys for Producer of the Year. Some people would argue that he had a very, very successful year. I agree. He produces for the Migos and a bunch of other people, apparently. I don't know. I don't get into it.
That's a shame.
It's weirdo. It's weirdo stuff. Luke Bryan came out with a new album. What Makes You Country?
Your pickup truck and your dog.
Sounds fucking terrible.
Pickup truck and your dog, yeah.
Makes you country.
Maybe some beer.
The album cover is literally him sitting on a lake, it looks like. He's just looking out into the water.
Is he wearing plaid?
He is.
When he's
In
sitting
jeans.
on a
I
lake,
know,
is he
and
sitting in a
jeans.
canoe or
In
something?
jeans. No, he's just on shore.
Is he looking out all thoughtful?
It looks like
across
he's looking for a good place to fish.
Of course.
T Grizzly and Lil Durk came out with a new album, Blooders. Looks cool. Quality Control by Quavo. He's in the Migos. Static Selecta came out with a new album featuring various artists called 8. It's very good. It's very good. Action Bronson's on there. King Crooked came out with a new album, Good vs. Evil 2. I listened to the beginning of it. It's good. Jimmy Eat World came out with a new acoustic album,
I almost saw them in concert once.
Integrity
Almost.
Blues. Yeah, we did. We left.
Totally left.
I was there, yeah. We just left. We were like, all right, good. That's cool.
Saw the opening act.
Yeah, that was it for new music.
Wait, who's the
Careful,
opener?
Get drunk.
Paramore.
Paramore.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
We left and went and got drunk and gambled in AC.
Paramore's a good concert.
Yeah.
so
They are a
that's-
great concert.
Well, thank you, ladies, for being on Might Be News this week.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It was so much
Honored.
fun.
It was a lot of fun.
We'll have to do it again next season, and hopefully get
I think we
Allison
should do
on.
I was gonna say I think we should do everybody.
Everybody,
Everybody.
That would be
like
fun.
A special
The couples.
a couples edition.
it's the Might Be News family.
We might have to do like a game night.
Game night on Might Be News.
Battle of the sexes.
That would be
Yeah.
fun. That'd be mad fun, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We're gears are grinding. We're gonna think about it.
See, when you get the women on, we come with the creative ideas.
Yeah.
That's very true. You
No
know,
offense, Kevin, Danny. Sorry.
They know
Danny.
it's
We
true.
love you.
They
We
know
still
it's
love
true.
You know, Danny comes up with some great ideas. We talk about great ideas all the time. And basically, every time Danny opens his mouth, it's a great idea. Kev, I just don't know what he does sometimes.
He has me. for his great
Right.
ideas.
He
Oh, by the
comes-
way, I'm like, he's like, oh, what's your point this week? And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about a few things. I'm throwing out ideas. Wait, don't do that one. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna do that one next week. Are you kidding me?
So is that why you changed? 'Cause you were going to do something.
No,
else?
he's actually there was a third one
Oh.
that I'm not gonna disclose.
I could just see Kev just like freaking out a little bit inside right now. Like,
I wonder if
she's
he's
still
even
not
gonna-
home.
Right.
What's taking her so long?
I wonder if this episode's hilarious or
You
not.
think he's gonna listen? Or he's too afraid to
I
listen?
definitely think he's gonna listen just to see like how bad.
Actually, his behavior and pattern kind of shows that he won't listen. So
That's true. That's true.
I'm
But
teetering on
it's
that.
he might not. He might hear me say that his kids wouldn't have happened without me and turn it off. I probably
Well,
would too.
it's the reality of the situation. He's
But
just
if he
gonna
doesn't
deal
make
with
it
that.
this far, yeah, whatever, Kev. I can't wait to see it.
He only
next week.
listens to the first 3 minutes anyway.
Yeah. If he doesn't like it, he just turns it off.
Yeah.
Because he has the attention
not
span
winning,
of
he
a
turns himself
goldfish.
You shouldn't be so mean to goldfish.
I don't know.
We love you, Kev.
Love you, Kev. We'll see. You'll hear Danny and Kev back with me next week for the season finale.
Better make it good. I'm
Trying
excited.
to make it good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, what am I gonna do Monday mornings from now on? It's like my go-to. Like Monday morning, get into work.
Luckily, you
Headphones
only have 3 weeks off. 3
Yeah.
weeks off. Just for
You'll be
Christmas. and
busy
New
with
Year's.
Christmas and
Yeah,
the kids.
true.
So
Yep. That's why we're doing it.
yeah.
I get
Makes
a
sense.
lot
We
of
want a
work
little
done
break,
on Monday
too.
mornings while I listen to you guys.
I love it. I love that people listen, and I want people to continue to do so.
I wish
Yeah.
there was an episode every day, to be honest. I would totally listen every day.
Maybe eventually.
But I don't want my husband gone from the house that frequently.
Yeah.
Once half these companies we talk about that don't pay us start paying us.
Yeah, right? There you go.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Jackie, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I love you.
I love you too.
Amy, I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you guys for being here. This has been the ladies edition. Except for me,
Best
obviously.
edition.
It was a great episode. Thank you again. Everybody, have a great week. See you next week for the big grand finale. I'm Taylor Cooper. Follow us on Twitter at MightBeNews247. That's MightBeNews247. Thanks so much for listening. Bye-bye.